So right now I'm just going through my yarns because right now I'm actually making a couple of pullover sweaters, but I'm actually taking a break from that so I don't become overly exhausted by making that, like constantly making it. So right now I was going through my stuff and I was thinking, you know, I have all this chenille yarn and I haven't sewed any plushies in a while using, you know, soft plushies anyways. I've been selling the acrylic yarn plushies and I was like, you know what, let me just get rid, use up some of this. So I'm actually making I don't even know what you would call it. It's gonna look like a granny square blanket, but it's not necessarily a granny square. It's one of these patterns that I had saw on Hooked by Robin that she does. It's like a diagonal square. Yeah, it's a diagonal square on the inside, and then you line it's a moss stitch. It's a moss stitch. What it is, it's a moss stitch square. I just can't remember the name of it, but because that was like when I was looking at that video, that was at like 5 in the morning this morning after my husband left for work. But so it's this moss stitch square and it's diagonal on the inside, and then it has the moss stitch for the border to make it look nice and neat. I'll show you one of the squares that I have actually finished. So this is all just Premier just chenille yarn. So the one that I have in the middle, the one that I'm using right now, this is the medley. So I'm actually using 4 medley colors, and then I'm using this nice aqua blue, and then this mauve, I believe that's what it was called. No, it's iris. This one's iris. And so I'm using those for my center of the square. So I mean, you really can't tell. See, because this is the end and this is the beginning. So when I made this square, it started off right here, so you could see the line, you can see that pattern going up. But if you put it sideways, you can hardly tell the difference. But either way, so this is how I started it. And then once I finished it, my ending, when I did the moss stitch border, this is the end. So that's my tail, so that way I can join all these squares together. But so far I've made, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 completed squares with the moss border and everything, using this mauve color. And it's really soft. So the texture of the medley, it's like, it's as soft as the chenille, the just chenille on top, but the just medley has that extra bit of texture that gives it like a slightly rough feeling, but it's not like a uncomfortable roughness. So I got the red medley. I can't remember the name of the colors. I have them saved because I cut up my little band that was holding these together, and then I cut off a piece and hole punched it and tied them together, so that way I know exactly what it was. But so I got this red medley. Then I have this light bluish gray medley, And then the iris, this deep purple, and it kind of looks sparkly yarn, but it's not. That's just the white thread in the middle that you can see. And then this black medley, and then the aqua, and then this teddy bear brown medley. So I got these 6 squares done. Those have been completed. Those are the ones that I've been doing throughout the day while my toddler's running around. But right now she has taken her nap, so I don't have to worry about her screaming and yelling and everything in between grabbing my phone off the stand. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more squares completed but not bordered. So I got 6 more, plus I'm working on 1, so it's gonna be 7. So what this blanket is going to be, it's gonna be 6 wide. So it's gonna be 6 of these squares wide, and then I'm thinking maybe 10 in length, 12 max, but I'm gonna line it up as I go to see how long exactly I want it, because I know 6 is a decent length, but that's only long enough to cover your width. So that would be like so 6 wide by 6 wide would be like just under a toddler size blanket, if that, like a very small toddler blanket. So what I'm trying to do is make at least kind of like a twin length, but I'm not sure if I want to make it a twin length. That's why I'm saying maybe between 10 and 12 squares in length. So I already have row 2 mostly done, so I'm working on row 3 right now. So this is going to be the first square in row 3. So that's what I'm doing right now as a little catch up. So this video is going to be mainly me just making these squares, and then I'll upload them as I go. So I'm not going to record me making all the squares, but I'm going to be recording me making at least some of these squares. I am not going to do a tutorial because, like I said, this is one of the patterns that I had seen on Hooked by Robin. So if you want the actual pattern for this, you can go ahead and go over to her page and then look up the video. It's like one of the ones near the top, so it's not too far down her video list. But yeah, so my squares are gonna be 11 stitches wide. I mean, that's what she did too, but she said that this pattern will only work if you stop the halfway point on an odd number, because if you don't, then it's not gonna come out the way it's intended to come out. But and I didn't want to make it bigger than 11 because I am using a chenille yarn. So I mean, you know, just Premier, they call it a super bulky 6, but it's not really a super bulky 6. It's more like a bulky 4, or maybe a regular a worsted 5 at best, because I am using a 5mm hook for this, and for the border I'm using my 6.5mm hook. But yeah, let's see how many I'm at right now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, So I'm on the 9, so I need a couple more rows before I can start my decrease. But so if I know I got one more full 50 gram skein, well, not skein, yeah, 50 gram skein of each of these medleys still. But if I run out of these before I can get to the desired length of this blanket, I'm gonna substitute other colors that I do have. They're not gonna be medley colors. They're gonna be the solid colors like my iris and my aqua. But because I'm not gonna buy more yarn, because the whole purpose is to get rid of most of my plushy yarn that I have no need for, because no one's ordering anything that requires the use of these colors. No, and if someone does, you know, I'll just go out and buy what I need as I need it. But I'm also gonna be destashing some of my acrylic yarns, because I do have a lot of that. I mean, I have a lot of yarn right now, a lot of acrylic colors, solid colors, but that's because I had this big order that I am in the process of fulfilling. I've already shipped out the first portion of it, but it's gonna be like a multi shipment, because it was 30, I believe it was 35 items, and they're in like clusters of 5. So because my customer had ordered 5 of each color of a specific plushie, that does take time for me to make. And I've had this order open for a while now, but I did ship out her first set already. So I'm still in the process of making her order. I got maybe 6 more shipments to send out to her. 6 more shipments of 5, because I figure that's gonna be like the easiest way for me to send it out, so that way it's not overwhelming and she's not constantly waiting for the entire order to show up. So that way she's at least getting something, and she knows it's not, you know, I mean, she's one of my regular customers, so I don't think she's too concerned about me not fulfilling the order. She's just more curious of how long it's gonna take. But I mean, it was a really big order, so and it's a very time consuming plushie. So I mean, she's been very, very patient with me, because I've had a lot of things going on lately, on top of me and the kids constantly getting sick, and the holidays, everything in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So right now I'm just it's not necessarily a palette cleanser, but I mean, I guess it would be a palette cleanser, because I've just been working on nothing but solid acrylic colors. But I am taking a break from that, so that way I don't over stress myself. So I've been taking periodic breaks from that order, so that way I don't feel overly overwhelmed by it. And then on top of that order, I do got one other order for a lovey that I am halfway done with. I got the blanket part done. I just got to finish the actual the head of it, well, the part that makes the lovey besides the blanket. So I just gotta finish making that, and that one's almost done too. So that one should be I'll be sending out within the next week or so. So that way she can have, that customer can have their order as well. And then I just gotta send out a pair of eyes that I had to make for a customer, and then I'll be clear. And I won't have no orders for a while, because I mean, that one order did take out a lot. It take a lot of my shop integrity away because of how big it was and how long it took me to start fulfilling it. But that doesn't bother me. I can always bring those numbers back up. Normally for my Etsy shop, I sometimes if it's too slow and I have enough free time, I will turn on the ads, and I'll pay the dollar for however many clicks and stuff like that. I will pay that, and then I'll stop it once I get a sale, so that way I can boost up my numbers again. But right now, I don't need to be doing that. I'm still catching up on my orders. So, and then whenever I'm done with this blanket, I'm probably gonna put it on my shop for sale. So that way, if anybody's interested in purchasing it, it'll be there. And it's not gonna be too overly expensive because, I mean, if you think about it, this is just Premier Yarn, and I've only spent $1.25 per skein. So I mean, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $7 right here. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So about $14 I plan on using because of the size. I mean, I've gotten I'm getting at least 3.5 squares out of this skein by itself, because I got that one complete one plus the one that needs the moss border, and then this one's mostly completed, and I'm not going to be using this whole skein, right? So that's about $14 worth of inventory right there that I've just been sitting on. So I mean, it's, depending on the size, it's probably gonna be I'm probably charge no more than $30, and then, you know, plus buyer's gonna pay for shipping. The buyer has to cover shipping, but I'm probably gonna put it up for like 30, no more than $40, because I mean, that's plenty of profit for my time that I put into this blanket, and I just started this today. So I mean, I didn't start this at 5 in the morning. I just saw the tutorial on how to do this at 5 in the morning. So because I was so tired because the past 2 days I've been staying up after my husband leaves for work at 5 in the morning to work on those pullover sweaters that I've been making. Yeah, so I've been working on those pullover sweaters that I've been making, and so I've been too tired, so I couldn't stay up for the life of me. So, and my kids woke up at 7:30. I woke up at 7:30, so I was still going in and out on the sofa because that's how tired I am. Plus, I'm pregnant, so obviously I could not open my eyes for nothing. But if they need anything specific, they wake me up and let me know. But for the most part, they stay close to me because I go to sleep. I take the naps on the sofa after my husband leaves, and because I know my kids are gonna wake up before I do. So they just play with the toys in the living room that we have in the living room, because we keep the majority of their toys here, because, you know, this is where we hang out, in the living room. So So they just play there. I mean, if they start fighting over toys, of course, I wake up and I get them to stop. Or if they want juice or something, I'll get up and give them some juice. Make sure they're out of their overnights and they're in their underwear to get the day going. And then I officially get up at about 8:15, so that way I can get my son ready for school and get his lunch going and make sure he's dressed, brush his hair, make sure his teeth are brushed, put on his socks and shoes, make sure his water bottle is filled up and ready to go, and then he just waits for the bus to show up. And then once I'm done with him, if I have enough time, then I'll get started on his sister. But if the bus gets here before I do that, then I'm gonna he's going to school, and then I take care of her. Make sure her hair's brushed, teeth brushed, she's clean, she has clean clothes on, things like that. And I mean, both my kids are mostly potty trained. My son, he has a sensory issue about pooping in the toilet, so I mean, I got that to deal with, but I check him every day. I check him every morning, so as soon as he wakes up, I check him, change him out of that overnight pull up, and then put him in his underwear, and then I'll periodically get up and check him as well to make sure. But I mean, he's pretty good about it. He doesn't really use the restroom on himself in the mornings. It's just afternoons after he's had food in his system. Okay, so I got another square down. Let me go ahead and see. Oh, my throat's so dry. I'm gonna go ahead and see how many more I can get out of this color. I think I can get maybe another full square out of this, and then maybe a partial square, maybe. Let's see, we'll find out. Yeah. So the only time it's the quietest in this house, I mean, it's not really quiet right now because I have a movie playing in the background to have her fall asleep and have some background noise while she's sleeping. It's early in the morning after my husband goes to work and during her naps. Those are the only two times that it's very quiet in this house during the day. Other than that, I got a toddler screaming and yelling and jumping up and down and running around everywhere as she watches her movies and stuff. I put it in the wrong spot.